Steve Hackett torna in Italia per un tour in cui celebra i 50 anni di Foxtrot dei Genesis. A pochi mesi di distanza dall'ultima volta nel nostro paese, il chitarrista sarà infatti di nuovo in Italia per 6 concerti, a partire da quello del 13 novembre all'Auditorium Conciliazione di Roma. Nel corso delle serate, Hackett seguirà tutto Foxtrot e non solo, e riserverà ulteriori sorprese a un pubblico che da noi lo segue davvero letteralmente da 50 anni. I primi tour dei Genesis in Italia, infatti, risalgono proprio al 1972 e lo stesso Steve Hackett ha ricordato anche quei momenti nella nostra intervista.
We're playing the whole album, you know, my band, and the album was originally recorded in 1972, you know, a long time ago, but it still feels very well written and conceived, and I think the band was at its best at that time. I think, you know, 1972-73, this period is a golden period of Genesis, and I've been revisiting that era. So this is probably the last time I'll use the term Genesis revisited at this point, because I have done several albums, Selling England by the Pound. The other one was Seconds Out, now Foxtrot, and a few years ago I did Wind and Wuthering, almost the whole of the album, but a lot of reflection on early Genesis material. And then after that, you know, there will be other things, references to Genesis, of course, you know, but the band doesn't exist anymore. Genesis is officially disbanded at this point, but that doesn't mean to say that I have to say goodbye to that music, which is so important to me and to a lot of other people, you know, the very well-written songs. So Genesis never performed Foxtrot in its entirety. There were certain songs we didn't do. We used to do Water of the Skies. We never did Timetable. We certainly did Get 'Em Out by Friday. We didn't do Can Utility and the Coastliners, but of course we do that live. We didn't do Horizons at the time. We did Supper's Ready, of course. I've done this album in the UK now. We've done that tour, and the reaction was just astounding from the crowd, and very emotional for me to bring that music, which was so personal to me at that time. And of course, 1972, we were touring in Italy at that time when the album was being written. So some of it we were rehearsing at the Italian shows. And sound checks at that time became rehearsal sessions, and you could tell that something like Water of the Skies was going to be amazing when it was finished. I'm looking forward to being back in Italy after just a few months, but with a different show, and it's always very important to come to Italy, as you know, for us. In those days, we never knew if we were going to play to 3,000 people or 3 people. You know, everything was very unpredictable. So some of the shows we turned up and sometimes there wouldn't be a stage, or there wouldn't be this, there wouldn't be that, or they would move the venue. It was kind of chaotic, but always exciting. It always seemed like an experiment. It was always an adventure. So you never really knew from one minute to the next, will the mellotron work? Will the show work? You know, will there be this? Will there be that? So it was very early for us. You know, we were a very experimental young band at the time, and just surviving that was quite a challenge at the time. We do a very authentic version of Foxtrot this time out, very authentic, and I'm very proud to be bringing it back to Italy. I'm sure it will be a great and memorable reaffirmation of the reason why I got into all this in the first place.